So, I've been working on all the new beginner's guide for season 5, Town of Salem 2. And one of the things you have to kind of in your head is put yourself as a beginner player and how to play certain roles and what people may or may not do as those certain roles. Well, that reminds me of an Adagio video, which is well over a year old at this point. Crazy. Of how to throw in Town of Salem 2 as every role. So I thought as a good way for me to continue working on these beginner guides is to do kind of something similar. Now, this is kind of a updated version of Adagios, maybe a little less throwy and a little more just people being dumb, but I thought it was only fair to tribute Adagia here as one of the greats of the people who do Town of Salem 2 content who no longer does. So we got a lot of roles to cover, but this is how not to play every role in Town of Salem 2. As admirer, do not just randomly bestow people. You might bestow a killer, or the coven, or the jester. As amnesiac, you want to refrain from soft claiming day one as oh, I don't know my role, especially in role lists where the ritualist is just sitting there. They will go for you. As arsonist, you can't constantly ignite every day. Or I guess every night is the best way to put it. You might find out that there's another arsonist, but you're not going to get anything accomplished. As baker, you should not leave the game. I know it's tempting. I know touching grass is generally a better idea than playing baker, but stay in the game. As berserker, you shouldn't attack the baker's breaded targets. The baker already has a hard enough time playing the game. You should not attack their targets. As bodyguard, you shouldn't self back-to-back nights, night 1, night 2. There's generally a TPLO or someone more important to go on night 1 or night 2, or both. You really shouldn't self either of those nights. As catalyst, you shouldn't randomly overcharge people. Kind of similar to admirer, you might get a killer or the soul collector. As cleric, you shouldn't self night 1. That is really suspicious, and you should be going on someone else to save. As conjure, if someone's screaming chatterbox, you shouldn't nuke them. I've not seen a town ever spam chatterbox, and nuking the jester, A, makes you look like a dummy, and 2, is not very productive for the coven. As coroner, if you find that someone doesn't have evidence, you need to share that. Don't not share a no evidence, because that's important to the town to know. As coven leader, even though you are the leader, you still want to work with your coven to make sure that they get the right rules. Like, don't turn your jinxes into dreamweavers. That's just mean. As crusader, if someone asks for TPLO, you don't need to go on that TPLO unless you think you're the only TPLO or the TP left. The last thing you need to do is kill your cleric, your bodyguard, and your lookout. As cultist, you cannot indoctrine neutrals. Don't try it. If you try hard enough, it will still not happen. As cursed soul, if someone disconnects, you do not need to go on them. Right now, there is only a bug to where you can randomly go on the disconnect player, but then you're going on a very small chance. Just go on someone who's alive. You have a better chance of swapping. As deputy, do not randomly shoot and then not explain yourself. You need to wait to shoot and then call your shot. As Doomsayer, make sure you keep track of all the claims and people talking. You have a much better chance of figuring people out rather than just randomly guessing every night and not keeping track of rolls. As Dreamweaver, don't go to the same person back to back to back to back nights. Yeah, eventually you might get them insomnia, but it's better to go multiple places in Dreamweave rather than the same person. As Enchanter, don't forge a will and let everyone know that you're Enchanter, even though Smuckers needs a snuggle. As Executioner, if someone's pushing your target, falsely pushing your target, I guess, don't defend your target. You can let others do your work for you. As Hexmaster, remember that you are not astral without the book. And so, wait to try and kill that veteran, or to hex that veteran. Wait for the book. As Illusionist, make sure you work with your coven. If coven wants to go and try and kill the jailer, help them out. Don't just not. As Investigator, make sure you post when you have any information you have, not just when you have murder and trespassing. Make sure you post every day. As Jailer, jail. Just because the world is scary doesn't mean that you need to not jail. The bakers are scary, though. I can agree with that. As Jester, you need to talk. Chatterbox does exist, so make sure that you do talk. As Jinx, don't just randomly mention that you hit someone with defense. Because A, unless you're gonna like hard claim Crusader for the whole game, but B, those people know who you are and can easily push you. As Lookout, you don't need to look at the corner, unless the corner is the most confirmed town investigative, but if there's someone claiming TPLO, go on them, don't go on the corner, even though the corner needs friends. As the Marshal, even if someone asks for your alignment in a vote for alignment situation, they're not probably evil. You don't need to push those people. They're just trying to VFA. Don't go on a power trip either. As Mayor, there is no secret achievement to win the game without revealing. If you need to reveal, please reveal. As Medusa, don't stone whoever the Enchanter is trying to alter. It's mean to the Enchanter. As Monarch, don't randomly night one. Or night one. You might get the Baker, and they might feel better about themselves. But you don't need to do that. As Necromancer, don't touch the dead famine. You don't know what's going to happen. As the Oracle, don't heal yourself night one. Oracles already have a hard time about, existing and not being fake. You're not doing yourself any favor healing night one, or healing yourself night one. As Pirate, don't just randomly try and kill people. Yes, you are a neutral killing, but you're not going to get your targets easily that way, and you're probably going to piss off the town. As Plague Bearer, if you know who the Coven killing is, you don't have to out them every single time. That turns into conjure food, or a very easy check once you turn into Pestilence. As Poisoner, you can't smog and kill someone at the same time, so make sure you choose either or and try not to do both. As Potion Master, you don't want to heal the people that the Coven's attacking. Generally speaking, that Doesn't sound like a potion master. That sounds like you're playing purple cleric. As prosecutor, just because an oracle exists doesn't mean you need to prosecute it. Yeah, several oracles are fake, but not every oracle's fake. As psychic, you don't need to do a good, your odd good visions on the revealed mare. That doesn't help anyone. As retributionist, if you find that your corpse is missing, it's not a bug. You should make sure you notate that, especially because necromancer might exist. As ritualist, you don't need to ritual the jester. It's just not necessary. As seer, you do need to keep a will. And your will should be more important than Smucker's getting his pats and growing up to be big and strong. But Smucker's does deserve his big pats. As serial killer, you don't need to claim blue vigilante. As sheriff, you don't need to check someone who's disconnected to check for enchanter, soul collector. You're better off with other people who are alive to check. As shroud, you don't need to just direct attack. You can also shroud people. And in fact, that's a better way of playing shroud most of the time. For socialite, you don't need to put everyone on your guest list. You might put people that's not supposed to be on your guest list if you just randomly do it. As soul collector, if someone disconnects, reap their soul. Just because they disconnect doesn't mean you can't take advantage of it. As spy, don't reveal who you've bugged until something goes off on them, because the evils will avoid that player, generally, if they know that you're going to be on them, or they might counter. As tavern keeper, don't claim TK. TK is for town killing, not for tavern keeper. As tracker, don't track the same person twice. That's werewolf behavior. As trapper, just because your trap goes off doesn't mean you need to disassemble it the next night after. It can stay on there. As trickster, visiting someone during grace period will seem pretty suspicious because every other TK and TP cannot. As vampire, you can convert people, but you will never be able to convert the coven leader or members of the coven or other neutral. So don't continue trying the same target. As veteran, don't claim TPLO on town power. Bad things will happen to the rest of your team. As vigilante, double check your role lists. Yes, it's really fun to shoot the revealed mare. Make sure there's a reason that you can shoot the revealed mare. Like, they were changed by the vampire, or they were changed by a cultist. If neither of those are in there, don't shoot the revealed mare. As Voodoo Master, work with the Dreamweaver. That's a really good combo, and just because the Dreamweaver is a bad roll doesn't mean that they're a loser. As Werewolf, don't claim Brown Vigilante. That's throwing. As Wildling, don't comment on people's individual whispers. As Witch, don't control people into yourself unless you know who they are. You might control the Vigilante into yourself, which would be funny, but not right. And as Pilgrim and Covenant, talk. Because if you don't talk, then you're not really playing the social deduction part of the game. You're just playing the sit there part of the game, which Coroner already has to do a lot anyway. That is all. Thank you, Lore Master, Mystic, Wild, and DJF for some of the help on making this. And thank you, Adagia, for making the original versions of these. And we will catch you again for more Town of Salem 2 content.